In the beginning of earnings season, it is always the big dogs in tech that report. And somehow Nvidia doesn't report until a month later. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And it feels very random for Nvidia to be reporting tomorrow. But nevertheless, they are going to be reporting tomorrow. And that'll be May 25th, 2022. The expectations here on earnings per share are $1.30 plus $8.1 billion in revenue, which is, again, absolutely massive. And for a company that is trading at a $400 billion in market cap, this stock is a monster. The other part about this, though, too, is that the multiple has certainly come down on Nvidia. This was trading at $346 per share just back in November of last year. Fast forward 6 months later, and now it's trading at, as of the close today, around $161.54. So where can this go from here, and what can we look forward to on Nvidia's earnings? If you recall, Nvidia has been trading and growing very much so in the video gaming space. That's where they cut their teeth. That's where the explosive growth began. But they've shifted. They pivoted. During the pandemic, they saw extreme growth. And now they're trying to allocate a lot of that growth that they saw over the last 2 years into more specifically the AI space. And this, to me, is certainly going to be a key area to watch, and more specifically in their data centers related to AI, and really also in the automotive sector. They've talked about autonomous driving, getting into that area as well. This is going to be some key areas to watch. As I'd mentioned before, data center is going to be probably the key revenue driver for NVIDIA's business. This, to me, is probably going to continue to become more and more of a thing. Some people are looking at this as a negative, that maybe because gaming's slowing down and data center revenue is going up, that this could end up hurting NVIDIA. And what if this shifts the brand and what they're actually known for? But I say, who cares? If they're able to overcome some of the revenue that maybe they're losing from gaming, if we're seeing demand come down from that, if they're able to replace that and then some with these data center, with the demand from data centers and the chips that are required to run them, I say, why not? If they're able to pivot, then let's just go for it. And then, gaming will come back, and then it'll be like having your cake and eating it too. So to me, I think this is going to be very interesting to watch for NVIDIA. Let me know in the comments what you think about this and what you're looking for on the company. Do you still own NVIDIA? This was a stock to me that I thought could see $1 trillion market cap this year. Obviously, my tune has changed. That would require NVIDIA to more than double from where we're at right now. I just don't see that being possible. But I do think that it still has the ability to be one of the next $1 trillion companies for sure. Just might take it a little bit longer to get there than what we originally anticipated. But a couple other things to note about their data center revenue. It's been growing rapidly in recent years, as I had mentioned. The company generated around $3 billion in data center revenue in fiscal year 2020. And a bit more as the half of that revenue generated by the company's gaming segment. So as you can imagine, it's dwarfing gaming right now. Data center revenue has more than tripled in just 2 years, and NVIDIA reported annual data center revenue of $10.6 billion in fiscal year 2022. Obviously, the pandemic boosted a lot of that because of working from home and needing more data to be able to have those employees working from home. That grew in 2021 as much as 125%. Absolutely wild stuff. Revenue from the data center slowed in the first quarter here to 58.5% from that 125, but even still 60% is pretty phenomenal. And the quarterly growth slowing year over year to 35%. Sorry. This is still been accelerating since before the pandemic, regardless. And so I think that we're going to see some really strong numbers coming out of that data center revenue. And I think that's going to be a key driver for them. Let's take a look at the chart overall on NVIDIA and see what we can come up with. Obviously, you can see that this is sitting down here now at yearly lows, or the year-to-date low of around 157.67. It kind of seems to be where it's bottomed out at. It's well below the 200-day moving average, sitting all the way up here at 245. And then also we have this 50-day that's sitting around 217. On the RSI, this is sitting close to oversold conditions, but not quite. It's sitting at 37% or 37 percentile. So it is low risk and I would say high reward here at this point. And there's nothing about this that makes me think that NVIDIA is in danger of losing or missing earnings whatsoever. We look at the way that some of the other semiconductors have performed, and AMD comes to mind, where they absolutely smashed earnings, raised guidance well above what expectations were for Wall Street analysts. And I think that Nvidia could certainly come in here and do the same thing. Once again, let me know what you guys think about this, though. What are your thoughts on Nvidia? Do you have puts or calls on Nvidia? Are you long or short? Let me know in the comments. And I'll be live here tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time to cover these earnings as they come in. So make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell as well to get notified when I go live. And I'll see you tomorrow.